K96.3, Kelowna's Classic Rock, K Mornings, David and Tony, The Last Ride. Here it is, the final show and the final moments. How are you feeling?
Rich. I feel rich, actually.
Okay.
Do you remember, well, you won't remember, but I was there, 1939 in Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
He said, I feel like the luckiest man on earth. And right now, surrounded by my wife, my daughter, my grandchildren, everyone has been so generous. I feel like the luckiest man on earth. I've had the great privilege to work in morning radio with you. You've taken more bullets than a target for Tony Peyton, and I thank you for that. But you've enriched my life, David Larsen, and you'll always be in my heart. It has been a singular joy of my working life to work in morning radio and to have the privilege of talking to 7, 8 people a morning. It's been fantastic. It really has, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart to everybody, and for all the generosity this morning. I'm a better man for the entire experience. Thank you.
I'm happy to be with you, Tony, at the end of all things.
Oh.
And probably the best quote from a K listener all week was, goodbye, good luck, and piss off. All right, guys. Congratulations.
All right.
Turn up. Come here, big fella. Bring it in here for the real thing.
Thanks, man.
Love you, buddy.
So here they are, David and Tony, the K96.3 K Mornings with you guys. It's over. How does it feel? I'll start with you.
Yeah, fantastic. No. Lots of emotion. I mean, David, I've woken up and spent time with, he won't like the way I'm saying this, David Larsen every morning for the better part of 20 years, 25 years. And that's about to change. That's a big, big deal in terms of my life.
Yeah.
He's thrilled.
And David, there's a lot of people, different people have their own kind of music, and there's a certain crowd that you guys are part of their morning, and you have been, and suddenly that ends. So there's, I guess you're hearing from some people who are going to miss you.
Yeah, what's interesting is we've heard over the since we announced that we're leaving last week, a lot of people saying, how much they're going to miss us. Truth is,
here we go.
No, absolute truth is, I think, I can't speak for Tony, but I know I'll miss it more than the listeners will, for sure.
Yeah, it is a fun thing. It sounds like you guys are having fun when you're on the air.
Does?
But is it forced, or is that actual fun?
No, it's forced. So, it's real. It's absolutely real, which is what's been great about this whole thing.
Yeah. What is there anything that sort of stands out as a highlight over the past decade at K96.3, or even before that when you were at Silk?
I love going back to this story because David and I end up a couple of decades later very close friends, and we've been through a bunch of stuff. But here's where it started, Kent. David Larsen came to Silk FM, the old Silk FM, now the Easy Rock, and as the program director, and was going to put together the morning show. I was already there. I'd been there for some time. And the story goes, close enough to the truth, that David says to Nick Frost, who owned it, okay, I'm the program director, so the sound of the station is my responsibility. This Tony Peyton guy, I have to fire him. I had no idea.
He just didn't like the sound of your...
I was terrible.
He's still,
Really?
Yes, I had no idea. I can imagine how I would have seized up if I'd known that. This putz comes along and wants to cut it all off.
Really wanted to fire you.
Yeah, so Nick apparently said, okay, you're right, it's your station, but give him 3 months. because he may grow on you.
Right.
And here I am. And he still considers it to be his worst mistake ever.
Yeah, terrible regret.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes you do take the show in the wrong direction, but that's part of the fun.
I don't take it in a wrong direction. I take it in a direction. He is the captain. He's the one who has to helmet back on course.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems to me you're like it's kind of a twisted Ed McMahon, you know, for the Johnny Carson of David, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
You know what we are is the oddest couple. Both, as men, with our different backgrounds, different ways of approaching things. David is a brilliant radio guy. Me, not so much.
Right.
He is.
I'll agree with that.
He is
The latter.
He is the only reason this show, has structure and discipline, and we get the stuff done we're supposed to get done. And he's found a way, and good for him, to lasso me and keep me sort of basically under control. So the two of us together have really worked out.
You know, one thing I've enjoyed the odd time when I listen to you guys. No, it's more than that. There was one morning I'm listening, and a caller's on the line and saying, "Aren't we supposed to do the so-and-so today?" And you're like, "Oh, yeah, right." And then, but the way you guys roll with the punches, like if something's a little slightly askew, it just is funny, and you never sound stressed. And so that makes it easy to listen to. Would you say that's part of your shtick, is to just kind of roll with it and have
It's
fun?
definitely a shtick. Yeah, I mean, I think we just try to be ourselves, try to be natural, and try to enjoy the shows as they roll along. Has a certain structure, but generally it kind of goes wherever it's going to go, and we allow that to happen, I think.
Yeah.
Good radio is it's not complicated. It's good morning radio. It's like a giant cup of kick-ass coffee with a couple of laughs.
Yeah.
Talking about stuff that people care about, be relevant, be authentic, because people can hear it right away if you're not.
Yeah.
Be genuine, be a little bit revealing, talk about stuff. David's talked openly about his health issues. Our families don't like it because we say, I'll go home and my wife will say, "Really, Tony?
Really?
You had to go there?"
Yeah.
But good radio does that because audiences can get close to you that way.
These morning shows are becoming almost the only game at a lot of radio stations now. The rest of the programming day, more and more radio stations, just go to some syndicated show. The mornings are in some cases, the only real connection that the community has through their radio stations. So it is an important part of the day.
I think it is. People talk about, this medium dying. I don't think it ever will, as long as people in radio, David gets this, stay close to his heart. Right. And that is...
Well, better not be dying, because David has another job to go to.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's still alive that
Yeah, would
long.
you try and wring it out of him? Because I cannot, for the life of me, get it out of him.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about is, so David moves on, and for you, it's retirement. And this is an interesting thing, observing people getting to that stage of life. It seems to me a little bit of a bad choice sometimes to go from full-time work to suddenly, boom, nothing.
Oh, come on. He hasn't been working full-time for many years. The guy has been mailing it in for about 10 years.
How long is your work day up to now? Year?
Oh, listen, the radio workday starts early and
ends early.
I mean, this magic doesn't just happen.
But it's not 8 hours.
No, it's 6, 7, 8 hours. Okay. David has been working 10-hour days ever since I've known him, because honestly, this thing doesn't work without someone doing that work.
Yeah.
And Tony's not going to do it.
And then there's, after-hours stuff. And
But back to my question, you've got some things to stay occupied. You're not going to just go home and contemplate life.
My lawn is going to be the best groomed lawn. No, for sure. All I've done is work for 45 years. That's really all I know. All right. And so I think you're right. I think it's important about not just dropping off the cliff. And I'm engaged with some other stuff that I'm looking forward to doing.
Right. So be my sidekick for a minute. I'm
Okay.
going to try and pry out of David here
Yeah.
what he's doing next. You're
Yeah.
going out of market to another
Nice.
radio station?
Yeah, let's
That's
go on.
right, yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Now,
Come on, Larsen.
do the call letters start with K or C?
Nice, yes.
Can you tell us anything about your next job?
No, I really can't.
Really?
I could tell you it's kind of a similar gig, but I'm going to miss the big fella here, obviously. But that's about all I can tell you.
Right. So it's outside of Kelowna.
It is.
Can you say, is it a bigger market?
Wow, he's good.
A bigger market than
You're going
Kelowna?
to fold like a cheap tent, Larsen.
I can't.
You going to Nanaimo or Calgary? All right.
You're
There you
good.
go. I know. You see, that's
You're investigative journalist.
This is investigative journalism. It's happening in real time.
I know. I can feel and break.
But it's really good to be able to chat with you guys. I know you're going to be missed by a lot of your listeners. Any sort of parting shots? If any listeners really annoyed you over the years, this would be your last chance to really tell them how you feel.
You know what? It's, for me, doing radio, working with David Larsen, who is my great friend, has been the singular joy of my working life. I'm going to miss it. I know it's something that happened once and will not happen again, but I've been so lucky, Kent.
Well, I'm really lucky to have you guys here to tell me. You're making me misty over here.
We're all missing up here, Peyton.
Thanks so much for coming in, guys.
Yeah, you bet.
And thank you for watching Kelowna Now.
Let's do it candid.